Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Shane Isaac has responded. Shane Isaac has responded to the multitude of videos coming out recently talking about how one of his recent hires decided to talk about how Shane was going to sue Big Fry TV, possibly others, including Sid Alpha, Upper Echelon Gamers, and whoever else you could think of who has talked about this Earth 2 game, the scandal, the scam that it is. And regardless of what Shane and others will say about what you can and cannot call this game, we can call it a scam, just as much the same as Shane calls us defamatory for calling his game a scam. This is all freedom of speech. You cannot prove defamation or anything. However, the key interest in this is the hire cried wolf. And we kind of knew this from the start. There was talk from multiple creators about how Tanner, the person / kid, as he keeps being described as, that was involved with this at the time, is a pathological liar. He was in an earlier scandal involving putting games on Steam that he was too young to actually publish on Steam at the time, so he broke Steam guidelines that way. But this game, or games that he put onto the store, were asset flips. As far as I know, it's an asset flip and just, But this person has proven themselves to be, beyond the shadow of a doubt, a bad figure, a bad role model in game development. And so to have even hired this person and not done this background into them just shows how incompetent the CEO of this company might actually be. What Shane does in this video is goes out of his way to end up defending Tanner, even though Tanner, who is supposedly one of his more recent hires, went out of his way to lie about a lawsuit, a large lawsuit, $3 to $4 million. He would lie about that on behalf of the CEO. It puts the CEO in a bad position. The entire company's put in a bad position, and all this guy wants to do is defend the dude who's trying to do this. He's trying to defend the dude who got his company not only under... the Earth 2 is already under a bad light for being a scam. If these guys really want to prove it's not a scam, defending the person who lied about a lawsuit that put your whole company under the eye of that, your company, you personally, are going to be suing these people for defamation, you're just going to let that slide. And then you make quotes about how, it's cyberbullying and this is not allowed, and you're all picking on a kid trying to rip him down. The dude's not a kid anymore. And even when he was a kid, he was supposedly lying about how old he was, saying that he was 18 when he wasn't. We know that had to have happened at least for the Steam store placements, because we know you have to be of age to do that. But this whole scenario is just really interesting. But Big Fry TV put out a update on this situation, and that's how I got this information. But I can't actually believe this is a situation where the hire cried wolf. While I will agree that I respect that he responded as quickly as he did to the situation and had the nerve to respond to it at all, which is good. A lot of people will cower and fear from that if they have a PR team, would just be like, you guys handle it, I'm going to sit in the background. Yeah, no, he came out full-fledged. But what he said was stupid. To be like a cashier at a TJ Maxx, gets in a fist fight with every customer at the store, is not stopped until police arrive and tackle the person. And then the president of TJX, which owns TJ Maxx and a bunch of other stores, comes out and says, hey, that 15-year-old cashier, if you comment on what happened with that store, that's harassment, that's cyberbullying. Oh, and at the same time, this person's done the stuff like this before, but that doesn't matter, give him a second chance. Because that's another thing that Shane says in the video. Let's give him a second chance. He supposedly has put games on the Steam store that not only lied about his age to get him on there, it's not a game that he really developed. And you want this guy on your team and want to stick up for that. It just seems like that it's a group of people who are all good at scamming together and they can't just remove each other from the relationship because this dude obviously has some stakes in this whole thing. But it doesn't matter what you have to say because everything that you say, Shane, is also opinion just like ours. What you say about us being defamatory in of itself is not defamatory, just the same as what we're saying is not defamatory. So you can keep lying about that all you want and trying to paint us in the bad light. But it's you and everyone at your team, and Tanner most importantly, who needs to own up to the facts of what they're actually doing with this project, whether you like it or not, because people deserve to know the truth. Anyway, stay joyful, stay humorous, stay classy, when I remember to say that one. And most importantly, stay clown-pilled!